Apparently, I am not a man. We're going to talk about that next.
I love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me.
It's lunchtime.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Lunch with the Clydesdale. We are back and better than ever. Maybe. Still recovering from the surgery from last week. Bear with me as still experiencing a lot of drainage. I'm going to go as long as I can for the next 45 minutes and do what I can to hang in there. We did a show last night. I did have some repercussions from having to talk so much last night. So hopefully we can do that today without as much happening. Going solo is making it a little more tenuous, but we're going to do what we can. We're going to try to bring you a show every day this week. Everything is going super well with the recovery. Just, some lingering things that I have to work through before I'm able to blow my nose again and really just kind of empty things out. So I'm super stoked to be with you. I wanted to start off today with some stuff I just learned about within the last hour. It was posted to Pat Vellner's Instagram story. If you did not see this, here is what it is. I don't know if you can see this very well, but here's a story of Pat Vellner in a hospital room getting his chest shaved. And then on the next slide, they did a great job with his chest shaved like so. And then on the next slide, and of course, let me try to do this again. For some reason, there we go. All right. So I'm getting a heart ablation. I'm okay. Son of a gun. I'm getting a heart ablation. I'm okay. Do not panic. If you've been following me at all, a heart ablation is generally done, I believe, if you have AFib. As someone who has suffered from AFib a couple times in the last couple of years, one of the things done along the line to help cure it is to have a heart ablation. It's not something that should put him out for a lengthy period of time, but it does hopefully keep his heart in rhythm. But if you've never had AFib, it really does kind of take the wind out of you when you're in it. And it makes working out very, very hard. AFib is not life-threatening. What becomes the danger from AFib is a stroke. Because the blood is not pumping at a rhythm that makes sense. So it pools and then it can clot. And then once you get a blood clot, then you are at risk for a stroke. So yeah, I have had AFib twice. I've been cardioverted twice. And I'm here now. Mark Phillips had AFib once, got cardioverted and was good to go. Hasn't returned. Yeah. I've been through this a lot, so it's actually something I'm pretty familiar with. Cardioversion is the first technique. Second is a cardioversion with medication. And then there's the ablation. And then thank goodness we have Shanna, our resident MD, not AFib necessarily, could be other arrhythmias. Okay. Thank you for the clarification. But that was on his stories just within the last hour that is happening with Pat Vellner. So we'll be looking out in the next few days to see where that goes and what occurs with that. And maybe we'll learn more as we go. But for someone who has been around the sport for a long time, when you see something like that, of course, there's general concern for his health and well-being, and our thoughts and prayers go out to him and his family, and hope that everything came out just fine. Mark Phillips, yes, could be just tachycardia. Yeah. Again, I'm experienced with the AFib part of it. I don't know much else, but just wanted to share that as it came out within the last hour. The cowboy. Dude, I didn't realize how bad you sounded until I hear you now. You sound better. I'm glad I sound better. I feel better. It's just the drainage still from the sinus. Hopefully, hopefully that like slows down in the next few days. And then Thursday, I'm allowed to start blowing my nose. So hopefully I can get that out instead of it being kind of in there. I do like 3 rinses a day of my nose, trying to get out as much as I can. But the more I talk, the more the mucus forms in the sinus cavity. So that's why I'm like tenuous as to how long I can go today. Mark says I kind of look better too. Well, thank you. Thank you. I had them pull the cheeks up a little bit. No, I'm just kidding. Elite athletes at risk for AFib and dilated left ventricle. Oh, wow. Okay. Nice. So we have that with the Pat Vellner news. We also had this breaking within the last hour and a half, and Barbell Spin and Andrew Hiller have already made clips on this. But James Sprague announced on the Sevon podcast today that he would be doing the World Fitness Project, as it would be silly of him to not do it since he was the top contract winner of last season. And he is actually scaling back his semifinal season to just 1 semifinal and then the WFP. And someone that's as good as James has the confidence that they can punch their ticket at an event like NorCal, use the other time that would have been a semifinal to punch his ticket, to compete in the WFP and earn, I believe, the $100,000 contract he earned last season. In addition to that, this is what he said during that time, and I don't know if the boys necessarily knew he was going to say this, but here it is.
Maybe I'll go do a couple WFP events this year.
You should come cover me. Come hang out with me.
I'd love to do
I'm
that.
the only one out of the boys doing it. Any side?
So I am the only one out of the boys doing the WFP. So there you have it. I don't think that's been confirmed anywhere else. The other thing that is odd is if you watch Jenny's Dense Updates this morning, she talked about that announcements for signed contracts ended January 21st, I believe. In addition to that, if you go to the World Fitness Project Instagram page, James Sprague is not even listed as a signed athlete for that. He's not even posted as an athlete who is signed yet. And he said he is doing it. So there's got to be a backlog of information coming out of WFP, but we have learned that 2 of them are not doing it, or 3 of them are not doing it for sure through this conversation, and that James is putting all of his eggs in the NorCal basket. CJ, I see you say Del Mar. He is not doing Del Mar. He is spacing it out so that he can do WFP Tour Stop 1 in Mexico City and NorCal, because there's enough space between the 2. And the reason I know that is Sevon said he is streaming NorCal and that they would be together at that event where James is trying to punch his ticket. So, keeping it real, came to say I'm not a man, can't carry dumbbells 400 meters. Yeah, we're going to get into that in a second. Tranked Olive, it's a leak. Yeah. I think what we love about James is he's so open and transparent with us and tells us what's going on in his life. But he also, I think, leaks information sometimes he's not supposed to because he's so open and honest and transparent. So it's one of those you take the good with the bad, and hopefully it's not too bad. Shanna says that Spin, yeah. Shanna says Spin says Medeiros and Pepper declined WFP for next year. Yeah, it's all based on the interview that James did with Savon this morning that I was watching live when he announced it. And it didn't take long for both Hiller and Barbell Spin to then release information on that. So. Yeah, I believe James said on Boys Interrupted a couple weeks ago that he has a wedding to attend the weekend of Del Mar 2. Yeah. He always drops the T casually. He does. He's got to be great material for you, Jenny. Great material. Yes, Trish, it is lunchtime. Lunchtime on the East Coast of the United States. I know people are gathering from other places as well. So, the other thing I wanted to say about Boys Interrupted, as a Bears geek fan, Tyson Bagent was on last night, and I was in heaven getting to listen to the inside knowledge he was dropping about the Bears and their schedule and how they do things and how strength and conditioning goes, how what resources they have available to the athletes. I can't get enough of Tyson Bagent on these shows because just like James, Tyson is very open and transparent and honest, and you get to learn so much. And if you are a football fan at all, we don't get the glimpse into what a day in the life of a football player is. And the fact that Tyson was able to give this to us last night, just hanging out with some buddies, it was really cool. And I really, really appreciated it. So, Andrew Sten, see Hepner's video teasing competition as a master, competing as a master. I didn't see it yet. I saw the video. I assume that's kind of what it was. But I did not dive into it. It's been, honestly, Andrew, it's just been tough with the stints in my nose until yesterday, just concentrating without my eyes and my head hurting for a little bit. So I could only do like small little movements, small little content consumption at times, but I'm hoping to catch up this week. Lido says it's tea time in the UK. There you go. So let's talk about being a man. So if you missed it yesterday, or maybe I don't know when it came out, but Andrew Hiller made a video about it last night that I was watching, and it was Josh Bridges talking about what he thinks every man should be able to do. And I just want to say I think it's ridiculous. To put no parentheticals around this at all and just say every man should be able to do this, I think is absurd. And so here it is. I screen froze the spot where the list was so we could kind of talk about it. And the man test. You should be able to do a 7-minute mile run, back squat your body weight for 10 reps, bench press your body weight for 10 reps, which what he's saying there is your back squat and your bench press should be the same. Should be, who the hell benches and squats the same? That's just absurd. Be able to do 10 pull-ups, deadlift 1.5 times your body weight for 10 reps, take a sandbag ground to shoulder body weight. So pick up your body weight in a sandbag and put it to your shoulder. 30 push-ups unbroken, and then swim 500 meters in under 10 minutes. So I was like, I was thinking about this as he's going through this list, as like in my peak condition in my life, how would I fare during all of this? And I wouldn't do well. I just wouldn't do well. Now, like in my peak swimming condition, could I run a 7-minute mile? I could back then. Could I back squat my body weight 10 reps? I probably could. But I don't think I could bench press my body weight for 10 reps at that point in time. Maybe, but probably not. I could do the 10 pull-ups. The deadlift would have been tough for 10 reps, maybe. The sandbag would never have happened. 30 push-ups probably, and I could do the swim. But that is at my like peak when I was training 5 hours a day. That is not like an everyday person or an everyday man. Trish, yes, if you can do all this, it makes you a man, according to Josh Bridges. There are no parentheticals. There are no parameters. If you can do this, you are a man. Andrew Stenson, so does this mean when you hit a certain age, you're no longer a man? Or is this for a specific age range? Andrew, he gave no age ranges. It was all men. So at a certain age, if you cannot no longer do this, you are no longer a man. Lido says, is there a woman test too? I do not believe there's a woman test. This was just Josh Bridges. He does not give an age range. It's 18 or 80. You are still judged the same according to Josh on this man test. Corey says, sorry, Lido, men only. Well, if Lido can do all this, then she's a man. That's what it says. John George, his mustache has taken over his brain. 18 to 80, blind, crippled, or crazy. Yeah, all that. I mean, let's be honest. If he's doing this for content creation, there's been videos made about it. I'm sitting here talking about it now. Maybe he's getting what he wants out of this to have a discussion. And do I think there should be a test for like what means fitness for a human being or a man, or maybe some parameters? Yeah, I think there is some of that. By making it so absurd like this, though, it's become a content topic that we're all talking about. And so he's probably accomplished his goal. Not everything that you put out there has to be, when you're creating content, people are trying to get likes and views and all of that stuff. It's creating that. It's doing all the stuff he wanted it to do. CJ says it's not that absurd. The only absurdity is not putting an age limit on it. Yeah, and I think it's a great goal for like if you want to be considered fit, like for the rest of your life. I think that maybe it's a great list for that. I do think like the same weight of bench press and squat is a little off, and I think that having bench press and push-ups both based on body weight is a little bit off. I think there could be some refining to this for sure. But I think it could be like a good discussion is if you can do all this, you're pretty fit. And that's a good thing moving forward in life. And what I wanted to talk about is, as I was watching Hiller go over this, the whole time I'm thinking is when I was a kid back in the 80s, which was 100 years ago, my high school had what they called the gold shirt test. And basically what it was is when you got to high school, there were 10 things that they tested you on. And based on how you finished on those tests, you could earn a white shirt, a blue shirt, a red shirt, or a gold shirt. Gold meaning the best, white meaning that you didn't hit any of the top levels, blue third, red second. For a lot of people in my high school, that became a goal, because if you earned a gold shirt at my high school, your name went up in the gym forever, right? Forever and ever. Go back today, and if you earned a gold shirt in 1974, it's still there. And I know that my phys ed teacher at the time was looked at as this was a really cool concept, and was brought to a lot of different conferences around the country to talk about this and talk about what it means and what it would do. And back then it was like, if you could, so pull-ups was a test. If you could do 8 unbroken pull-ups, you got a blue shirt. If you could do 14 unbroken pull-ups, you got a red shirt. And if you could do 20 unbroken pull-ups, you got a gold shirt. And then to earn a gold shirt, you had to earn the gold level of every single standard. And there were sit-ups, there was treading water, there was underwater swim, there was running. I think it was a 400 instead of a mile. It's been eons ago, so I don't remember all the. I know rope climb was one. If you could climb to the top of the rope, you got a blue shirt. If you could climb to the top of the rope without legs, you got a red shirt. If you could go up and back down and then back up halfway, was a gold shirt in rope climb. And the reason I remember that distinctly is that is the only thing I didn't earn a gold shirt in when I was in high school, and it prevented me from getting my name on the gym wall forever, is I could not do the second ascent up the rope halfway to get my gold shirt. And it was fierce competition in my school, because you wanted to earn it. You got to wear that color in your gym class. And it was a status symbol. Like if you earned blue or above on everything, you got to wear a blue shirt. If you earned red or above on everything, you got to wear a red shirt. And if you got gold, you got to wear gold shirt in the gym class forever. And so it is, what I like about that is Hillerk at the end came in with tears in a different manner, but it really, before he even said that, I was thinking, this really fits with what we did in high school. And I really think they should do something more like that. And then it gives goals and measures for people to reach for. And you could do it as an adult. It doesn't have to be just a high school thing. It's like the presidential fitness test they had in the 70s. It was very similar to that, John. And I think like 2 of the president's physical fitness tests actually counted toward your shirt level, but only 2 of the 10, because like there was no underwater swim, there was no tread water. I think they made it a 400, which was just 1 lap of the track for time for that. So, but I think it's something that like even CrossFit could adopt as like a goal chart for people. And maybe you sell CrossFit shirts that say like, I've reached all the levels of these movements at this level, and I get to purchase a CrossFit shirt in that color. Like that would be something cool for the community to get around. And then you could wear that around, and everybody in your gym would know that you were able to accomplish all this stuff. Jay Birchu has an inside track with Josh Bridges, says I was told it should be 18 to 45 by the man. Trish says this is like 60th percentile CrossFit requirement, or maybe 70th. Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I think that is probably what it is. And I think it's something that could be fun to measure and a goal to achieve for different CrossFitters. That's a little bit different, and something to bring the community together. Isn't that kind of the levels thing in the open though, minus the shirt? I don't think so, Vicky, because it's independent movements that you're trying to get better at. I remember when I first started CrossFit, we had goat day where if there was something that you like, when I first started CrossFit, I was over 500 pounds. My run was not at a level that I could do workouts in a way that made me successful. So my goal was to get my mile time down to a level where I could at least complete workouts, right? So whenever it was goat day, I went for a run, right? Other people would work on their muscle ups. Other people would work on this or that. This is stripping down the movements as a way to, like, if you want to be great at the open, you need to be great at these 10 things. And you need to check all these boxes to be a bulletproof or a complete athlete. So it's taking it one step further, and maybe it's something you do in the fall opposite of the open to get you prepared and ready to then compete in the open. So you can focus on your weaknesses, and it would be a chart to tell you where you stand and where you need more improvement so that when the open comes, you are more prepared and better ready to do so. Ken Walters, like the shirt you get for the Rogue 1,000-pound challenge. Exactly. That's exactly what was in my head when I thought, well, one, my high school experience plus that Rogue does it for the 1,000-pound challenge. You could transfer that over to something like that. Wouldn't singling out specific movements as a test like that be contradictory to the methodology? I don't think so, Vicky. Don't we try to work on our weaknesses in our off time? Like, don't you after class work on something so you're better at it when the class comes? I just think that we all work on our weaknesses. We all work on, because there's always something that comes up in a workout where, like, the class passes you by and you need to get better at that. And isn't it cool to know what those things are as like a separate test? It's all part of fitness. You're not going against the methodology. I'm not saying stop doing Metcons altogether. I'm saying periodically test yourself on these movements so you know where you stand and you know where you need to get better. So when the Metcon comes, you are good enough to hang. A CrossFit. Wait, is that a Nintendo back there? How did I miss that? Corey is right. That is a Lego Nintendo that I made about maybe a year ago. But thank you for noticing. Jay Birch, my fastest mile was 5:57 when I was 14. At 150 pounds, I will never be a man again, just on the 7-minute mile parameter. Yeah, I think that, I think, like, with a lot of work, maybe I could get there again. I think running is something that you just kind of have to keep doing and you have to commit to. When I was trying to lose weight, I would do 2 runs a week outside of the gym because running was my weakness. Every time we had to go on a run, it didn't matter how fast I could cycle a barbell. It didn't matter how many pull-ups I could do. It didn't matter my speed on wall balls. The minute we hit a run, everybody passed me. And if I wanted to get better, I had to take time outside of the gym to get better at running. And so I would do that, and I would commit to that, and I would commit to that 2 days a week. And maybe, just maybe, in the near future, once all these medical things are done, I can try to get back to that running. I can try to get back to, because that again is now my weakness again. It helps with the cardio part of it, so I can get, so I have more wind during a workout. And if I go on a run, maybe I don't lose as much time to everybody else out on that run. Vicky says, of course, but you're talking about generalizing a certain number of movements to get a particular shirt. That's all I'm saying. And every workout, shouldn't someone gauge their weaknesses? Sure. But I think but we're not all like professional coaches. We're not all self-aware. I think that if you test and you see where you stand on a chart, and the 1,000-pound challenge is done by CrossFitters around the globe that Rogue does every year. And that's taking 3 movements and testing those 3 movements: bench, deadlift, squat. Can you do 1,000 pounds? And they have different levels of that. They have like I think a 750, 1,000, a 1,250, a 1,500. And it's just something to break up the monotony of the year. You don't have to just like dive into Metcon after Metcon after Metcon. We can work on the things we're bad at. Fitness is still fitness. Right? So it's all working toward the same goal of being fit. There's no like guardrail in CrossFit that says you cannot work on muscle ups for the next 30 days because that is against the methodology. No, you can do that. We have free will. We can work on whatever we think we need work on so that we are better and better prepared for the workout that comes. And because we worked on that, our overall fitness will grow. Ed AI is venturing into something that I don't want it to like disintegrate into, and that is, don't elite athletes get really good at movements for the white leader shirt? Yes. For a paycheck too. Same concept. Yes. I don't want to take it to like purely competitive, but we all the reason we do CrossFit is we're competitive in some way. That's what attracts you to CrossFit, because it's timed or counted, and you have a number at the end of what you do that means something. And when you get that score, you want to do better. Whether you're competing against your friend, your arch rival, or yourself, you want to do better than you did the time before. And the way to do that is to get better at specific movements within workouts where you suffer and you lose pace or lose ground to whatever you're doing. And it could be anybody from Joe Average me to Vicky to anyone. You just want to get better. And every time you get better at something, your fitness level goes up. And that's okay. I don't want it to because elite athletes have a specific goal in mind that they are trying to do. And they are trying to win money, win prize money, win games. They are trying to game the system, how to get through a weekend the best way possible. I'm just saying, for overall general fitness, having a list of items that you could test and see where you stand on that list of fitness is not a bad idea. And I do think it should be tiered so you know this is a really bad weakness, or it's a somewhat weakness, or maybe it's not a weakness at all. And you can kind of see that through some graphing and charting. So, so that's pretty much what I have to say about that. And thank you, Vicky, for I love feedback because it gives us something to talk about and it makes the conversation better. So I'm not trying to argue with you. I want to have the discussion. And so I appreciate the feedback. Truly. Do you think Bridges would have gotten bad heat if he did a female version of the test? I think there are some flaws to it. So I think that whether he did a female test or not, he would have gotten some bad feedback. And I see the mucho love, but maybe we don't have it numbered out, but Fitness in 100 Words gives us a list. It gives you a list Right. But we don't know what the score is. And without a score, we don't know where we stand. And so I think you do need to have like levels so you understand where in that parameter, whether it be a percentile, whether it be just some blank times, whatever, so that we can understand where you are. That's all. Because if we're doing CrossFit and it's not measured, then does it really count? All right, I'm going to finish up with this. Because I've been recovering for the last couple of days, I've watched a lot of content where I just needed to go brain dead, and I've watched some shows. David Reed, I'm okay with the idea of Josh's test, but the randomness of his metrics is suspect. Yeah, I think there's just some flaws in it. And again, I think he just put it out there for a discussion topic and to get views and likes, and that he accomplished considerably. Observable, measurable, repeatable, no clock, no CrossFit. So this weekend, I tried to watch some stuff just to kind of relax and kind of get away from things. And one good thing I watched was The Wrecking Crew with Jason Momoa and Dave Bautista. It was a good old-fashioned 80s action movie where there wasn't a lot of thinking to it. It was just explosions, car chases, shootouts by two big muscly men, and I enjoyed it immensely. I wouldn't say it's, going to be a Nobel Peace Prize for literature type of thing, but it was extremely entertaining in my opinion, and I really, really, really enjoyed it a great deal. And it is free on Amazon Prime right now. So if you're looking something like that to watch, it's a great find for you. I also tried to watch Begonia on Peacock. It is Emma Stone. And I could not get through it. I made it 35 to 40 minutes and it never ever developed into anything. I couldn't even finish it to tell you if it was good, bad, or indifferent. I just could never understand the concept or what was trying to be achieved in those 40 minutes. And the soundtrack was trying to create tension, and it was just hurting my head. So Lito says she liked Begonia. So she liked it. Honestly, the soundtrack hurt my head during the recovery, and so I was out. And it just never went anywhere in those first 40 minutes, other than they kidnapped a woman thinking she was an alien, and I don't even know where that leads to. So there we go. She said she liked the ending. I couldn't even get close to the ending. So there's that. I also watched the show Stick with Owen Wilson. It's about a golf pro who has a meltdown on a course, discovers a kid who is really great, wants to take him on the road. It is on Apple TV, and I really, really enjoyed it. Very heartwarming, a very nice movie. Again, nothing. It's typical. It's Owen Wilson playing Owen Wilson, and it was really, really good. Really enjoyed that. And what I'm currently watching now is Pluribus on Apple TV, which is from the creators of Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. And it is definitely out there. It is a show about something has happened on Earth where everybody shares the same consciousness, I guess is the best way to put it, is except for 13 people who could not be affected. And the entire world is under the same consciousness, and they just experience pure joy. It has, as we got into, as I got past episode 2, it keeps getting better and better and better. And so hopefully I'll finish that in the next day or two. It is really it is really thought-provoking, and I'm really excited to see where it goes next. Lito says she loves the cinematography of it. I would say it's very much like Breaking Bad. There is so many camera angles and views and the way the direction goes that remind me of how Breaking Bad's camera work worked. And so it's very similar to that. And so I can't wait to finish it. I think I just finished episode 6 yesterday, and I think it's a 10 episode thing. It's 9 or 10. So we're getting close to the end, but it is so far really, really good. The first couple of episodes are trying to figure it out a little bit, but once it like hits and you understand kind of the concept, it really sings from that point forward. Now a soundtrack hurting is not being a man. Ken, I just had sinus surgery. I had 2 stents up behind my eyes. I was very sensitive to a lot of things, and turn on Begonia for like 10 minutes and tell me that music is not something that would give you a headache. It was really, really bad. Anytime someone says Owen Wilson playing Owen Wilson, I hear him saying, wow. Yeah, he does that a lot. You're dead on, Corey. And it's really, really good. Really, really good. Mark Maron's in it. It's just, there's a couple little surprises that explain why he's in the situation he's in that are very heartfelt and very that make you understand his plight and where he's going. And it's so good. I really, really enjoyed it. My wife did too. We binge watched that pretty much Saturday, maybe Sunday, one of those 2 days. Really, really good. So just wanted to share those things that have been on my mind over the weekend while I was recovering. Now I can dive back into the CrossFit content to talk more about stuff with you. But before I do that, don't forget, Thirdzy is our sponsor. They're amazing people. Just had conversations with them today. Love Adam and the team at Thirdzy. They are incredible. Make sure you use code Jazzy to get 15% off your order. If you need a good night's sleep and you need to recover, it is the ultimate tool to do that. Gets that collagen in your system, doesn't use melatonin. It helps you sleep, helps you recover, and gives you everything you need to have a better day the next day. With that, I wanted to talk about, should CrossFit do an all-star game or a Pro Bowl? Maybe we'll talk about that tomorrow. But leave comments on the YouTube about things you want to talk about, or comments you have about things we talked about today, and maybe we'll pick those up tomorrow. With that, I made it 45 minutes with the recovery. Hopefully I don't have the adverse effects I did last night. But with that, hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Like and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you tomorrow on lunch with the Clydesdale. Bye, guys.